Hello. Okay. Glad to see that you're back here. Today, let's talk a little bit. Let's start off with closings. Yay. I mean, this is what you do all the work for so that people can now walk into their new home. You can hand them their keys. And I just want to talk about what I have seen is customary is often some kind of a celebratory gift. So an agent will bring their buyers to the house and not only be able to present them with the key to their home, but sometimes they might have a basket full of goodies or something to use in their kitchen. I was with home builders about 10 years ago, and they presented their buyers with an iPad, sort of the latest technology. There's lots of common things that are used. And if you ask around at your brokerage, you'll hear what people give for closing gifts. The challenge for you is to just think about something that could be a little uncommon. I mean, ideally, the nicest closing gift might be something that matches your buyer's needs or something that they're interested in, although it can be challenging to keep track of that and ask those questions every time and then go out, shopping and buying that one special thing for those clients. It might not be that scalable for you, but you do want to spend some time and just consider what would be something to celebrate the congratulations with my buyers and present it to them in their house. And I'll give you extra marks if you can match something that also meets your brand. So if there's something that you do or have special or a color or I don't know, certain kind of a flower, if you can match those things, that's ideal. Now, I will say, there are some very simple things. Don't negate the simple pleasures of doing business and write them off. Something as simple as when you take buyers through, are you taking your cell phone and taking a picture of them? Maybe it's something you do. Oh, every time I'll let the buyers, here's your key, open your door and I'll take a picture of you. Or, here you are standing in your new kitchen, or standing in front of your house, a picture for them to remember the experience. Now, that doesn't cost you a thing, but the nice return on that investment of your time really is that now you've got a picture that you can save into your client file. And every anniversary, you can send that to them. You could tag them in a photo if they're, friends with you on social media. You send those pictures to them and they have a nice real meaningful memory that they can keep. So there's lots of things that you can think of. I will let you write down your ideas and try some things out and see how they land. Now, one mistake that a lot of agents make is when they have a seller client, someone selling their home, but they're not also buying. What do you do for somebody who's selling a rental property and they didn't also buy a new home so they don't get a big client gift at the end? Or what if they're selling their home and moving to another city? So you'll definitely want to have something in place for that. And that might mean something that you could send in the mail, like a gift certificate or something that could be couriered. If they're moving out of a town and when they're leaving, maybe a courier over something special for them. So don't make that mistake of not recognizing your sellers when they're not also buying. Of course, the nice thing, if you think of a good buyer's gift that you could use for a year or two, is that you could maybe purchase these things in bulk, and just have them in your office and so that they're ready to go. So you have to weigh all of those details and the logistics of it so that you're not stuck on the morning of closing with nothing in your hand but a card and no ideas about how to congratulate your buyers. And then, yes, this should be part of your checklist. So the checklist on your buyer's journey and on your seller's journey should include either finding out what you want to get them for their closing gift or preparing your closing gift, whatever that's going to be. And to be honest, there's a good handful of checklists that you should be aware of, outline. You should know the process from beginning to end. And I've given you a list in the reading section of this session, so I won't go into it, but just take a minute and ensure that you know the process for each of the parts of your transaction. Um, After closing, it's when you really need to make sure that you don't just love them and leave them. This is a big complaint a lot of clients have, is that, you're excited, you're on to the next deal. So you're not always paying attention of the clients who just took possession, or of the clients over the years that they've just taken possession. And hopefully over your career, you will have an opportunity to work with those clients, 2 or 3 times over 5 or 10 years, and hopefully they'll give you referrals. So you do want to make sure that you are staying top of mind, because it's not like you're selling a jug of milk, that someone's running out of every week and they need you and have you on speed dial. Someone who loves their house, they might stay in it for 20 or 30 years. So how do you stay top of mind? You know what? Because even those people who stay in their property, maybe they want to use that equity to buy a revenue property or a vacation property or something else. So how do you stay in touch with value? I would highly recommend that you outline on what I'll call your marketing calendar. So, your marketing calendar is not only for your marketing for leads and new clients, but it also should contain how are you marketing and staying in touch with your past clients. They are the ones who are going to give you the best business. Their word of mouth referrals are the gold that will increase over the years. So you want to get something, whether it's an Excel spreadsheet or an online platform. There's lots of project management or calendars that you can choose from, but you want to have something that you will use and not ever lose. So, what kinds of things would you put on your calendar if you look over your year and think about your clients and your past buyers and sellers? One thing that I would highly recommend, which I probably love the most, is putting in home anniversaries. So if you have somebody that bought a home in October, next October, you have scheduled, because it's on your checklist, probably into the CRM under that client profile, a reminder to acknowledge them for their home anniversary. And that can be sending them that picture with a congratulations. Gosh, for home anniversaries, there's a whole other opportunity for you to exceed expectations, whether it's a card, like a snail mail card that people don't get that often anymore, could be a phone call. Hello, just thinking about you this month. Could be a bouquet of flowers. Congratulations, you've been in your house for a year or 2 years, 3 years. But certainly by 4 or 5 years that someone has a home anniversary, you for sure want to put in your system that this is due for a call. So if you haven't talked to them over the years before for whatever reason, maybe they're happy, they don't have any questions, that this would be a reason. Hey, I know you've been in your house for coming up 5 years now. Do you know statistically people feel like moving around every 5 years? So I thought I would check in and see, how are you guys feeling? And at least they know that you haven't forgotten about them, that you're thinking about them. It's a really good reason to make a phone call. If you start getting busy and over the years, maybe you're not making as many phone calls as you used to. So just keeping in touch with value. Certainly, I think most agents have probably got some kind of an e-newsletter that goes out. Use your own discernment on this. Do you have enough value to put content out monthly? Would quarterly email, suit your needs, or twice a year? But having your people on a platform like MailChimp or out of your CRM, you should be able to do a mass email as well, and sending them a hello, a hello for me. But be careful, because I know all of you do not enjoy your spam emails where you've signed up on someone's e-newsletter. So you have to really think, what do people find valuable? Not just, just listed and just solds, but something interesting that you yourself would enjoy reading. So think of some brainstorming things. I'll give you a couple of ideas. Is that if you were going to sit open houses and you had one coming up, if they were scheduled for that newsletter, you could put the open house address, you could put the link to the MLS system and say, hey, I'm going to be showing this house. If you want to come in and say hello, please feel like you're invited. And to be honest, even if people don't go, just being invited comes across with a really good feeling, and it lets them know that you're busy, that you're out there doing open houses. Also giving a little like a lot of people do the statistics, and in my opinion, if you just give statistics, you're giving people homework to do, unless your clients are a lot of engineers and statisticians. But if you could recap the statistics and tell people what they mean, I think people would find that value. It's a seller's market right now, so that means, or it's more of a buyer's market, so that means. And also, if you can write a little bit, or if you notice your buyers and sellers are asking you certain questions, I've been getting this question a lot and I thought I would answer this. A little paragraph of your expertise goes a long way. If you did your homework earlier in the course and went and did interview with lawyers, home inspectors, mortgage brokers, one of your little paragraphs could be, I talked to a lawyer today. Here's one of the things that gets in the way of deals the most often. Oh, people would go, isn't that interesting? In fact, statistically, people are more apt to read something um, that's like a watch out or a beware or don't make this mistake, because we give more value and we do more stuff to avoid problems than we do to move towards pain. So if you ever could write just a paragraph on watch out or beware, it's the end of winter, beginning of spring. You might see some attic rain dripping through your ceiling. Don't jump to conclusions that your roof is leaking. There's a common problem that we have, especially in Alberta. Or, watch out, make sure you clean your gutters this fall so that they don't, overflow come the spring. Anything that's like, watch out for this, people will appreciate it and they'll feel like you're giving them some value. Recommendations, referrals. So there's lots of good ideas that you can put into an e-newsletter that you can just keep it short, give them one or two things, and you don't want them unsubscribing. So give them something of value and spread them out during the year as best that you can. On your marketing plan for clients, you could also do some snail mail. So maybe you do a card for home anniversary. Maybe there's something else that you snail mail out a quarter or twice a year to your clients, like addressed mail, and it's an envelope and something that they can open up and read. Very good idea. And then you spread out your marketing. Of course, you're going to do social media online, but those real touches to keep people top of mind are what you want to make sure you get in that annual marketing plan. And then when somebody does refer you or pass you along a name, for goodness sake, reach out with a thank you right away. You might need to have a checklist for referrals if you're in that kind of sphere that gives you a lot of referrals, because you never want to forget to thank someone, pat them on the back if they've sent you a name, no matter if it goes somewhere or not. That first initial thank you needs to make them feel good, give them a shot of dopamine. So maybe you email them a Starbucks gift certificate. Hey, thank you so much for sending, Patricia my way. I wish we could get together for a coffee, but until then, here's one on me, enjoy. And then if they do become a client and you do end up buying them a house or selling their house, certainly once it goes firm, you have an opportunity to really recognize them and give them something of benefit, for the value that they gave you. Having people who will refer you and connect you, those are the best kinds of clients to have. And I know that you'll have a lot of clients, but not everybody is like that. You might have really nice people who like you a lot, but not everybody just takes the liberty to connect you. So when you find those ones, you want to take care of them. And in your marketing calendar, you might want to put maybe at least just one time over the year where you recognize your VIPs or your referrers. And maybe you invite them out for a golf game. Maybe if you've got 3 or 4, you could all go. Maybe you could have a VIP dinner and you pay for everyone's dinner. Maybe there's a little, I don't know, event or a themed seasonal thing that just reminds you, oh, yes, every October, say every Halloween, I want to make sure that I'm recognizing my VIPs. What can I do that will give them a treat? So think about where you can do that because people, they really do. We all want to be appreciated and recognized, when we do something that we feel is good. So if you can do that, you'll build up those connections really fast. One year, my husband and I were gonna buy a sort of like a timeshare, and I didn't know this company at all. Didn't know anybody who knew them. I forget how we got connected, but one of the things they did in their presentation was said, "Here are, 5 names of people who have bought our product before with their phone numbers, and you can email them or call them and ask them about us." They're legitimate people, and I'll tell you, that is one thing that I actually did do, and then we went on to buy actually, it was a fabulous kind of a timeshare for a young family, and we're very happy, but, when people aren't sure if they should work with you, having some of these clients in your back pocket, well, you could do, when you're at a new listing presentation or working with buyers, you could have something that says, here's 3 of my past clients who've worked with me, and you can call any of them and ask them what it was like to work with me. But also Google reviews does that for us nowadays right online, and everyone knows it's legitimate when so and so has given you a review. So you want to make sure that you're asking your past clients to offer up a review for those people who haven't worked with you yet. So, sure, there's lots more that you can put into that annual marketing calendar, but just get it started. Even if, honestly, I have used Excel spreadsheets that work wonderful, make them into a calendar, plug in your 2 or 3 ideas for each month so that you can look over your seasons, so that it's not just a Christmas card once a year because you couldn't think of anything better to do. There's lots of great things that you can do to keep in touch with your top clients, and that will give you maximized results in your business. So, okay, there's a little bit of homework for you. Enjoy and do the work, and you will have the results you're looking for.